Your inbound demo requests are your most valuable lead because it signals an intent and interest to buy. You look at us, we've basically doubled our show rate from those form requests, in large part thanks to RevenueHero. The math of the value that we're getting out of the tool, like it's paying for itself. My name's James Shelly. I'm Senior Demand Generation Manager at Local Logic, and I came to Local Logic about 6 months ago to begin building out their inbound marketing and demand generation function. And so, of course, one of the first areas that I looked to optimize was the inbound form request to meeting flow, because if you don't have that tight, then some of your other efforts might be wasted. So that was what brought me to RevenueHero. Yeah, as I got my bearings at Local Logic, I found that we were using automated email sequences for inbound demo forms. So they would submit the form, and then 10 minutes later, they would get an email with a link to book in an AE's calendar. When I looked at it for a 2-week stretch before RevenueHero, I think we were somewhere around 40% of forms were actually ended up in successful qualifying calls. In the first month post implementing RevenueHero, that number is up around 75%, and most of those book immediately through the widget on the demo page. But we have a pretty cool automation set up where if they don't book for some reason, we check that 20 minutes later, and that then triggers the same email type sequence that we used to have. So between the widget on site and then the follow-up email sequence, we're getting about 75% of inbound firm requests are ending up in a completed queue call. We've built campaign router links for a bunch more stuff. That's kind of the first area where we've begun to tap into more of what RevenueHero can do. So we have a campaign router for like cold outbound prospecting. We have a campaign router for existing lead nurture. And so when we look even in RevenueHero, we can see meetings booked essentially by source. About 2 years ago, I tried, the Calendly widget on the demo page. We just found that to be hard to track and a little bit of a black box. It didn't really play nicely with some of the other tools in our marketing stack. So that didn't last very long. Yeah, I mean, the kind of email sequence has been, I think that's kind of the baseline, of what a company that hasn't really looked too hard at this issue will do. And maybe some companies do manage to get acceptable show rates off of the email sequence. But yeah, the next one we tried and looked at was Chili Piper, but honestly, it became, it's very expensive. And we found that with RevenueHero, we were getting much of the same functionality and even some more cool stuff that Chili Piper didn't offer for a much more competitive price. And then I would also, this would be the spot to say that the support in both implementation and then ongoing support from the RevenueHero team was incredible. I can't imagine that Chili Piper customers are getting anything like that. And I honestly don't know how the RevenueHero team does it, but if there's ever any question or issue, we just pop it into the Slack channel, and in 10 minutes, we've got a solution from someone at the team. Your inbound demo requests are your most valuable lead because it signals an intent and interest to buy. And so anything you can do to maximize the value you get out of those, you should seriously look at. You look at us, we've basically doubled our show rate from those form requests, in large part thanks to RevenueHero. So, the math of the value that we're getting out of the tool, it's paying for itself. So I would absolutely recommend it.